Come along as we take you through a comprehensive journey of the Durston X-Mid 2P trekking pole tent.
The Durston X-Mid 2P is a two-person, double-walled, dual-side entry, sill poly shelter with two large vestibules that weighs only 40 ounces.
We'll be covering this in 6 chapters. These chapters will be listed in the description below, so if you want to jump forwards or backwards, you can do that at will. At
the end of this video, we will tell you where you can purchase one of these amazing tents for yourself.
Setting up the X-Mid is as easy as using 4 stakes. Compare that to other tents of other manufacturers that use 8 or more stakes to properly secure them.
The main thing to learn when pitching the X-Mid is to secure one of the corners on the short side first, then the other corner of the same short side. From there, the most important thing for a proper pitch is to go to the next corner and to make sure you have a good tight 90-degree angle. Then all you have to do is stake the remaining corner. If you've done this properly, you should have as close to a perfect rectangle as possible and good tension on the tent base. Make sure you've left yourself some line on the corners to either cinch down or loosen some for the perfect pitch if need be. Note, this is not the stock line shown. I've added 2 feet of line to each corner for increased staking options. Reference to guy line systems and knots for tents, tarps, and hammocks with Andrew Skirka. Next, there are 2 ways to insert the trekking poles. One is through the vents, or our preferred method is through the doors so you can more easily adjust the height as needed. From there, if you would like to hold out the vestibules when the door is open, just add another small stake at the bottom right of the door.
The Durston X-Mid 2P stands in stark contrast to other similar tents because it is large, it has offset poles, a rectangular base, and large usable vestibules.
Because the X-Mid 2P has a rectangular shape with each of the 4 corners very close to 90 degrees, it solves stability and ease of use problems with other tents of 2-pole shelters.
A rectangular shape tensions the perimeter, stabilizing the entire structure and allowing it to perform very well in the wind.
You can pitch the fly first in the rain, allowing the inner to stay dry, as well as being able to remove the inner in the rain after packing up while inside, keeping everything dry.
Offset twin pole structure provides generous headroom and living space by maximizing the distance between the 2 poles.
Double wall design to manage condensation.
Protected doorways can be left open in the light rain.
Doorways are large and not blocked by trekking poles. This is a feature most trekking pole tents do not provide. Vents to manage condensation.
Good wind performance by even load distribution on the stakes. Optional peak guy lines and additional hem stakeout points.
4 interior storage pockets.
Fly extends to the ground to block drafts and can also be raised for ventilation.
Packs down short enough to store horizontally in a pack.
Fly and inner can be pitched separately, either as a floorless shelter or in what is called stargazer mode for those nights where the weather is perfect for, well, stargazing.
It is fully seam taped.
And has a non-slippery floor due to a PEU coating on the inside surface. For those of you who do better with visuals, we'll show you the inside of the tent setup with our typical setup. As you can see, the interior space is incredible. It's a full 50 inches wide and accommodates 2 25-inch wide pads, and still has plenty of space for extra gear storage at the head and at the foot end. The interior shot again with two 25-inch pads with our sleeping quilts, pillows, plenty of space again at the head and at the foot end. We love the pockets, and we use them for storing our glasses, headlamps, and other small items that we want to have within reach at night.
We also love the top pockets. We use them for a place to put our headlamps if we want light from above to use for reading or just hanging out at night. We also use this to dry out a pair of socks or whatever else you could think of.
The vestibules are big enough to store our packs, shoes, cook kit, other items, as well as being able to cook inside them if it's raining. The rectangular shape tensions the perimeter, stabilizing the entire structure and allowing it to perform well in the wind. And I can tell you, we've been in some bad weather many times in this tent. From downpours on the Appalachian Trail, to 12 hours of rain and heavy wind while hiking on the Florida Trail, to countless other occasions of bad weather. And it is a tank when it's pitched correctly. And it's really not that hard to learn how to pitch it correctly. In the rain, the sill poly far outperforms regular nylon used in most tents. Most tents are using a regular nylon. When they get wet, will start to sag. You'll have to get out in the middle of the night when it starts raining to tighten the pitch again. This tent, you don't have those problems at all. Very rarely have we ever had any issue with condensation as well, because of the way the vents are designed, the inner mesh, the fact that you can pitch a little bit higher or leave one of the vestibule doors open for more airflow. Yeah, condensation has not been an issue with this tent. All right, what are our final thoughts on this tent?
Well, personally, I was really skeptical about getting a $300 tent that only required 4 stakes and two trekking poles. I thought that if we were in a storm or highly windy weather, that we would be screwed. But this tent held up exceptionally well, and we've been in some really, really vicious weather.
Yeah, we've been through some bad storms with it. Many of the other people who own these tents have been through a lot of snow, high winds up in the 50-mile-an-hour or so mark. They've held up great. Nobody's ever had any problem with them collapsing.
Extremely sturdy.
They shed snow incredibly well because of the steep wall designs, the way it's designed. Dan he's an evil genius in developing this tent.
Yes.
And for a $300 double wall, 2.5-pound trekking pole tent, this can't be beat. That's our opinion, of course.
And it's a damn sexy tent.
It's a damn sexy
green
tent.
just happens to be my favorite color. So thanks, Dan, for making it sage green.
And if you're looking to buy one of these tents, they'll have what they call the solid inner version of these tents, which means that the inner will be solid up quite a bit further, leaving just a small amount of mesh for cooler weather camping. As of, this is the end of May 2022, that sale on those is going to happen in the second week of June, I believe.
Hurry up.
And soon coming is the second sale of the X-Mid Pro, which is the hybrid single wall Dyneema version of this tent that weighs 1.25 pounds.
Which we also hope to get.
Yeah, and which we also hope to get. We own 2 of these tents already, one of the original ones and the newer version we just bought this last year. And the difference was the old version didn't have the black bathtub floor. It was sage green like the regular. It's pretty much the only, there's a couple slight tweaks. But just makes it a little bit easier when you're pitching it to know which is the floor and which is the top.
Yep.
So other than that,
Just love it. Just
beatable for the space inside, the headroom, the versatility, the stormworthiness. We just can't say enough about them.
Yep. So we won't say anymore.
We won't say anymore. But check out Durston Gearheads on Facebook if you want to know more about these, and join the Durstonites, the group of people that own Durston gear.
We're not a cult, or are we?
Durston backpacks, Durston tents, the Stargazer kits they sell for these to use without the fly. He's coming out with some foldable poles if you don't want to use trekking poles, or you want to use this for bike packing or pack rafting, so you don't have to use trekking poles when he comes out with those here shortly. He's coming out with another brand new backpack here shortly as well. The availability on the regular X-Mid 1P and 2Ps come the fall, he's promised, will be in stock and up to par with not selling out. So he'll be able to
we have another plague by then.
Another plague. And so yeah, if you want one right now, you can go to I Want an X-Mid, which is the Facebook page off of the Durston Gearheads. You can find out about that in the Durston Gearheads page. And you can post you're looking for one. People post them when they have them for sale. And DurstonGear.com for any updates and all the new upcoming sales and new merchandise and new products that he's doing. And what else can we say?
I love his tent.
This tent is the bomb. We wouldn't use anything else but Durston Gear. We're sold for life. And
thank you, Dan.
Thank you,
evil
Dan.
genius.
And we'll be talking to you guys soon. And until then, and as always, we hope to see you
Outside.